excited that it's half day Wednesday, early release day Wednesday? Yeah? And it's almost summer? Yeah. And you're like getting done with those tests too? Yeah? Awesome. Yeah. Well, we are students just like you guys. We happen to be college students, and we're also nursing students, which is why we have these funny blue outfits on called scrubs. And every day, just like you guys, we pack up our backpacks, eat a good breakfast, make a lunch, and head off to school to learn all sorts of stuff. And mostly we're learning about different body systems, like your muscles and your bones and your heart and your lungs and all that stuff. One of the systems that you guys have in your body is the immune system. And the immune system is in your body, and its job is to fight infections and disease processes, things like bacteria and viruses and germs. And we wanted to teach you guys a little bit about this system today because we care about your health. You guys are our future, right? Do you know what that means? Yeah. It means you guys are going to be responsible for teaching us all the stuff that hasn't been found out yet, especially with science. And we need you guys to be healthy. So when you become adults and you learn all this new information, you can come teach us what we don't know. So first of all, a virus. You guys have heard about a virus like the flu? Yeah. How many of you have felt sick in the last 6 months? Look at all this. All of us pretty much have felt kind of crummy. Yeah? And so chances are we all had a virus or maybe some bacteria or germs got in, and our immune system had to go into action to fight that virus, and that's why we felt sick. So how a virus spreads. A virus spreads when somebody who already has the virus in their body and is sick and not feeling well coughs or sneezes, and the virus gets out into the air. If you come along and breathe in that same air, where does the virus go? Exactly. And if the virus gets out and lands on your desktop, or your recess equipment, or your lunch table, or your library book, and then you come along and touch it, and don't wash your hands afterwards, what can happen if you eat food or rub your nose or your mouth and you haven't washed your hands yet? Where do you think the virus goes? Inside you, right? Because it was on your hand, and those guys live for a long time, long enough that if you don't wash and you eat, it's going to get in you. So after the virus enters your body, starts looking for a healthy cell. And your little healthy cell is looking for food and nutrients, and so the virus decides to attach to a nutrient. And your healthy cell is going to take that nutrient in thinking, hey, this is good for me, I need this nutrient. Your healthy cell has no idea that there's a virus attached to it. So all of a sudden the virus tells your healthy cell, here's my DNA, like a blueprint, right? Like a map telling her what to do. And she's sitting there not even knowing it, making virus parts for more viruses to be released and to go attack all the other healthy cells in your body. That's not good, right? No. So your immune system has a bunch of its own cells that are way cooler and way tougher than that virus. And they come into action to get rid of it. And this is a little bit about how that works.
Okay, so we have the cell, and the cell has been attacked by this virus, right? And what happened? The virus got in there and started making copies of itself, started taking over the cell. So the poor cell that's infected and starting to get sick calls out for help. And who comes first? But the first responders, right? Woo, 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 the first responders for your immune system are the phagocytes. That's a big fancy word for a particular kind of white blood cell. It comes to the area of infection. From the phagocytes start by engulfing. That means they take it in and break that cell down, because the cell's already sick anyway, so the phagocytes are going to break it down into lots of little pieces. And then what? Once the first responders are on the scene, and they're engulfing and breaking down the infected cell, next comes the special forces, the T cells and the helper T cells, okay? Those are more white blood cells that come to the rescue, okay? And what they're going to do is find and destroy the cells that are replicating the virus, the cells that are making more copies of the virus. And finally, another set of white blood cells comes along. They're called the B cells, and the plasma B cells, and they clean it all up. They clean up all the debris left over from the war zone there, all right? And finally, some of them make what we call antibodies. And antibodies stay in your body, stay in your bloodstream, so that next time your body comes in contact with that same germ, next time your body will go, Oh yeah, this again. And so it's a shortcut so you don't get as sick the second time. Okay, now Dave's going to tell you about how to take good care of your immune system so it can do those responses every time.
Thank you. So there's 5 ways that we're going to talk about, ways to boost our immune system and make it work better. First of all, we're going to talk about exercise. Exercise is important because when we exercise, it allows the blood to flow through our body, through those blood vessels, and it gets the first responders, the B cells, the white blood cells, right to the point where they can attack that virus. Exercise is important for a healthy body, but it's also important for a healthy immune system. How do you know if you're exercising hard enough? Well, there's an easy test. It's called a sweat test. You can feel the back of your neck or your forehead, and if it's moist and you're sweating, you're probably exercising enough. Either that or it's one of those hot summer Walla Walla days. We also want to talk about eating colorful fruits and vegetables. What I love about colorful fruits and vegetables is that there is a special chemical in them that can help your immune system. They're called antioxidants, or phytochemicals. Phyto means light, and these are chemicals that were made inside the plant. And those plants have these chemicals that not only repair damaged cells, but they also protect your healthy cells from getting damaged. When I think about colorful fruits and vegetables, we think about rainbow colors: red, orange, yellow, green, blue. These are some great options to eat. But some, and purple, like blueberries. Yeah, and plums are purple. You'll notice that some of these foods taste better than others. So there's lots of ways to eat these. You want to eat a huge variety. You don't just want to eat apples as your only kind of fruit. You want to eat a huge variety, lots of different kinds. And so I want to remind you there's some great ways to do that. Salads, you can put all kinds of stuff in salads and you don't even know. Fruit smoothies are awesome. Because you can throw something in the blender, you can even throw a piece of broccoli in a fruit smoothie and you won't even know it's in there. It tastes wonderful. Another way to boost your immune system is water. And water is so important because we need it inside our body and outside our body. Inside your body, do you know how much of your body is water? Any guess?
70%.
You guys have more water in your body than we do. Probably because we're nursing students. At least half your body, 60%, 70% is water. And so you need water not only to be healthy inside, but it helps your immune system because those blood cells that we talked about, the white blood cells, the antibodies, they have to travel to the spot where they can get the germs. And they travel through blood vessels, and water is important so that it will keep our blood thin enough to move through our vessels. And water is important outside of our body because it flushes the germs off of our skin. So bathing every day and cleaning really well and washing your hands, which we'll talk about in a moment. Great way to boost your immune system. Sleep is so important for your immune system. How much sleep do you need every night? Any clues? Okay, I'll take your hand.
9 hours.
How many?
9 hours.
9 hours is a great number. What happens is most people think about how much sleep, but they don't think about their sleep habits. Have you heard of sleep habits? It's so important that we have good sleep habits at this age because when you get older, you'll still have those same habits. And some things to remember are at nighttime, when it's time to go to bed, you want to dim the lights because you don't want to have bright lights right before you go to bed. Also, having a routine bedtime is important. Right, nursing students? A routine bedtime. We know all of that. And the sleep habits also include things like turning off the Game Boys and the TVs and the computers an hour before you want to go to bed. Because if your brain is working really hard and you're stimulated and you're playing and next thing you know you jump in bed, can your brain shut down and go to sleep? No, it takes it a long time and it's hard for it to shut down. So at night it's really important that we practice good habits and good routines. Turn off those stimulating things an hour before we go to bed. And the last thing we want to talk about, laughter is the best medicine. What I like about laughter, it boosts your immune system. A good hearty laugh, it not only helps you feel good, but it also makes your immune system work better. Endorphins are your body's natural feel-good chemicals, and when you laugh, it releases endorphins, and it's good for you. It also reduces your stress hormones. Do you guys have stress? I know nursing students have stress at least once a week. So when you have stress, it's hard on your immune system. So when we laugh, it relaxes and it reduces our stress, and it helps our immune system.
How will we all laugh?
Let's have a big laugh.
Big laugh!
That works too. Alright, so you guys have learned about your immune system, right? The cells that are in your immune system that go to work for you in your little body's army. You've learned about exercise, which you guys do every day on the playground and in the gym, right? So try working up a sweat next time. Challenge yourselves and challenge each other and be like, hey man, I bet you, can't get as much sweat on your forehead as I can. See who wins. Try it out. When you get into the lunchroom, see how many colorful fruits and vegetables you can get onto your tray next time. Challenge yourself and make good choices every time you have the opportunity to boost your immune system, because at this age right now, it's much easier to make healthy choices than it is when you get old like me. I'm almost 30 and it's hard. So, try it now, okay? Now there's one main way that you guys can protect yourself from getting sick and also protect others from getting sick if you have a virus or if you're sick with a cold, flu, or whatnot. And you guys do it every day all the time already. Does anybody know what I might be talking about?
Wash your hands.
Awesome! Now, I know you guys know you're supposed to wash your hands, but are you guys doing it when you're supposed to, and are you doing it right, and are you doing it long enough? Now, I bet you guys that you might not be doing it all the times you think you're supposed to be doing it. When I was at clinicals last quarter in the hospital, in less than 5 hours, I washed my hands. It was like 33 or 34 times I counted. And that's a lot, right? So that shows you how much I have to wash my hands when I'm working with patients to protect them and to protect myself, just like the rest of us do. So now we're going to show you guys how to properly wash your hands. And I know that seems a little silly, but you might be surprised. There's probably a lot you can learn in just a few minutes. Now, Kayla here is going to be eating lunch as soon as we leave here. And she hasn't washed her hands yet, and she's been eyeing this delicious sandwich for the last few hours. And we're going to see how many germs and bacteria and yucky stuff she has on her hands before she goes to eat. So can you guys see? It's kind of hard, but there's some white spots on her hands here. Can you guys see that?
No, they're really yucky.
Look at her. Do you see that?
See those white spots?
Yeah, that's all yucky germs and stuff that should not be on your mouth.
Yeah, no, that's really good.
So what do you guys think is going to happen is if she doesn't wash her hands and she goes to eat that sandwich, or if she rubs her mouth or her nose or her eyes, what do you think will happen to the germs? Where do you think they'll go?
In your body?
Inside, right? And then you're going to get sick. It's going to start attacking your cells just like you saw here a few minutes ago. So let's see if Kayla can get rid of those germs. And so in a second here, we're going to show you how nurses and doctors, how we wash our hands to protect ourselves and, again, the people that we come in contact with, our patients. So first of all, you want to get your hands nice and wet, right, before you put the soap on. Because when you put the soap on and your hands are already wet, you're going to be able to get that nice soapy, fuzzy lather, you know?
Yep.
So you want to go ahead and start scrubbing her, she's going to start scrubbing her palms. You want to use about a quarter-size amount of soap and get it going really well until you start seeing bubbles like that. Yeah, and you want to try singing Happy Birthday twice in your head, and that should be long enough to get your hands clean. So go ahead and clean the back of your hands. So she's going to get the bag. You guys can sit and do this with us, too, if you want to try. Because we're going to challenge you in a minute, and this is a good time to practice and get ready. So try getting in between your fingers, just like Kayla's doing. And then another spot you guys maybe haven't thought of is under your fingernails. Go like this, make a claw, and go like scratch. You'll get the soap under there. Yeah. Do it to your other hand, get those fingernails. And you guys are going to want to also get your wrist, right? Scrub your wrist really good. Now, we have that soap off the hands, right? Because when you scrub like that, you're not killing the germs and viruses, but you're pulling them and the soap up, them into the soap that's on your hands. So you got to rinse really, really well so that all those germs and bugs wash away, right? So she's going to rinse really well. And it's also important to dry really well and get anything else that might have not got rinsed away onto that clean paper towel or clean hand towel at home. And then after they're nice and dry, we'll see how much better her hands look and if she's ready to eat that sandwich, okay?
I hope so.
Because she's hungry. Much better.
See them.
There's still going to be some, but it is much, much, much better. Like she's ready to eat that sandwich, unless she touches something else. So, in a moment, we have time for some of you to come up and see if we won't be able to use the light because it only works for a certain amount of time. But we'll see if you guys can get your hands clean, like Kayla did and like we do. But before we go and before we break up, we're going to be sending a pamphlet home for you guys today. And we have two different versions here, the Spanish version and the English version. And, okay, we got one for everybody, don't worry. And this pamphlet tells you more about your immune system. Inside, there's a really fun comic you can read. There's also more kind of sciencey information towards the back if you want to learn more about those cells. It's also on the back side, if your parents allow you to, there's a website you can go to learn more. You can play games, do activities, not just about the immune system, but also about other body systems like the ones I mentioned before, like your muscles and your bones, to see if you can learn more. Show your friends and your family and teach them too. Yeah. So those will go home with you guys today or by the end of the week. And before we practice washing our hands and answer any questions that you guys might have, I just want to thank you on behalf of all of us and your staff or your teachers for giving us this time to come in and hang out with you guys. You guys have been super awesome. So let's take the first 4